Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 196. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Jodielynn Craven is so badass. So if you missed last episode, Jodi helps entrepreneurs consistently attract more money. And if you listened to last episode, there were so many great tips and takeaways and actionable steps about finding more money in your life, and you don't have to be an entrepreneur. It's stuff that anybody can implement and take action on, so I absolutely loved it. So go back and listen. If you're short on time and you just want to get to the nitty gritty, 3 reasons why Jodielynn Craven is so badass. Before we get to this episode, I've got to tell you, my book, From Broke to Badass, is coming out this week on pre-sale. I am super excited. This has been a labor of love and I cannot wait. So you'll be able to buy it on Amazon, and I'm so excited and a little bit nervous because I've never done a book launch. But you know what? It's all going to work out how it's meant to be. So I can't wait to share the book with you and kind of talk more about the journey. So make sure, if you're at all in debt, if you're trying to get your finances in order, then buy my new book, From Broke to Badass. I am confident that it is going to help you. And if you're not aware, I paid off $106,000 in debt in just under 2 years. And I know that you can do the same. There is nothing that can hold you back once you have a plan in place. So check out my new book, From Broke to Badass. It's on pre-sale now, or within the next couple days on Amazon. All right, with that, let's get to the show. Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to share 3 reasons why Jodielynn Craven is so badass. But first, let me warn you. I have my dogs in the room, and while that happens a decent amount when I record these solo episodes, maybe 50-50, in the beginning I never let them in the room because you'd hear the pitter-patter of their little paws, and then as time went on, it's like, let him be in the room. But I also got some sad news about one of my dogs, that he doesn't have a lot of time to live. So I kind of just want to embrace this time with him and get every second possible with him. So you might hear him coughing in the background. So bear with me. Hopefully it'll be a quiet episode. Okay, with that, let's get to it. 3 reasons why Jodielynn Craven is so badass. So I'll run through the 3 reasons and then we'll get into it. You know the drill. All right. The first reason why she's so badass is she didn't let her financial situation trap her. The second situation is she went all in on money. And the third reason why she's badass is because of this exercise she created. This exercise? All right, let's try that again. This exercise will have you feeling like your BFF is around you forever, or like always by your side. Let's dig in. Okay, so Jodielynn didn't allow her financial situation to trap her. So many times we get into these financial situations where we're in debt or we don't have as much money as we want, whatever the scenario might be, but we get in this situation and we feel like we can't get out because of the money. So that might be a relationship. That might be a marriage, right? Or maybe if you're younger, maybe you still live with your parents and you don't feel like you can get out on your own because you don't know enough about your finances yet, or you're not making enough money yet. So it is so easy to let your financial situation trap you. Jodielynn shared that she was in an abusive relationship. He was emotionally abusive, and she said he kind of kept his thumb on her for a long time. She had bought a house with this guy, and he kept threatening, like, if you leave, this house is going to go into foreclosure. And being a responsible human, being a responsible adult was important to her. So she was terrified about having the house that they owned together go into foreclosure. And you know what? This happens to a lot of people. Maybe one person in a relationship knows everything about the money. It doesn't have to just be like a foreclosure situation, but one person handles everything with the finances and the other person doesn't know anything about it, right? They just rely on that one person to do everything with the finances. But the problem with that is you don't get to grow. You don't get to learn for yourself. You become dependent on the other person. And so, God forbid there was like a death, right? A death in the family. And that person wasn't around to do it anymore. Then that leaves you feeling lost. But then also, even if it's not anything extreme, right? You just don't know how to do it. So you're very dependent on that person for finances, for money. And that can be hard. Or maybe one person in the relationship is making money and the other person is not. And so you're relying on them for the finances. I'm not judging in any scenario. And I'm just throwing out different options. And sometimes people don't get a divorce because of the money, right? Or because of the threats of what would happen with money. Kind of like Jodielynn said, her boyfriend at the time had like threatened foreclosure, saying the house is going to go into foreclosure. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what's worse? Staying in this unhealthy relationship or getting out and going to foreclosure? Can you bounce back from foreclosure? Yes. Can you bounce back from an unhealthy relationship? Yes, but the longer it goes on, the harder it is on you. The harder a toll it takes on your body and your mind. So I don't know, just questions to ask, but I thought I loved that she didn't let that situation trap her. It's possible that we all have financial traps. That there's something that catches us all, and for everybody it's going to be different things. Maybe it's limiting beliefs like Jodielynn talked about in the episode. Sometimes we believe something's true just because it was true for our parents and we fall into that money trap. So where are you getting trapped with your finances? Where are you believing things with your money that aren't true? What was true for your parents but isn't true for you? So I think it's cool to do like what Jodielynn was saying throughout the episode. Like, ask yourself questions. Find out. Uncover those limiting beliefs. Uncover those things that you believe about money. Uncover where you're getting stopped or tripped up over money. And then push forward, right? Or find a different way. All right, let's get to number 2. The second reason why Jodielynn Craven is so badass is because she learned everything she could about money. I have a special place in my heart for people that struggle with something or feel like they suck at something, and then they go all in on that thing. It took me so long in my life to learn this. I wish I had learned it sooner, but in the past, I would always think, oh, I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid when I didn't get something. And I would give up. But what I didn't realize is when I did something hard, when I did something I sucked at and overcame it or got better and improved, that gave me confidence. That gave me confidence to do other things in my life that I didn't know were possible. So the fact that Jodielynn went all in on her money, and now she isn't just talking about money, right? She's talking about how you can attract money. She's talking about wealth generation tips. It's not just something basic about money, but it's like wealth generation. And she's living this example with her life. You can go all in on the very thing that you think you suck at. You can go all in on the thing that is so hard for you. And maybe you're even mortified to do it, right? Because you're like, oh man, I'm gonna suck. Like, this is gonna be bad. Okay, who cares? Do it bad, do it messy. And then sometimes if you just have that, like that idea in your head, like, I'm just gonna do it. Who cares if I suck? Who cares how it turns out? I'm just gonna have fun and do it. I'm just gonna learn. And don't put so much pressure on you or on yourself about having to be perfect, about how to do it the right way. Just do it, even if it's messy. What is something that you absolutely suck at, but it would change your life if you went all in or if you figured it out? So maybe it's your finances, right? Or maybe it's your ability to change a tire, right? If you learned how to change a tire, then you wouldn't have to wait on the side of the road for somebody else to come and help you. Or if you learned how to fix something around your house, right? That could change your life. Instead of having to ask somebody to do it for you, you could learn it yourself. I'm sure there's a million different things that you could apply this to, but what is something that if you learned it, it would change your life, or it would have like a big effect on your life, right? And then remember, when I say it has a big effect on your life, that doesn't mean it has to be something huge that you have to change or something huge that you have to invest in to learn. It can be something very small. And sometimes it's the small things that we change that have a gigantic effect on our life. What if you learned to be a runner or to get into some sort of fitness program? What would that change on your life? Maybe you've never thought you were athletic. But if you could learn to run or to exercise, what would that change for you? I just want you to open your mind here to think of different ideas, things that you feel like you're not good at, but that could absolutely change your life if you went all in on them. Okay, the third reason why Jodielynn is so badass is because of the exercise she does that'll have you feeling like your BFF is always by your side. So, Jodielynn said, when something's going wrong or when you're talking down to yourself, to talk to yourself like you're your best friend, to give yourself reasons why it's not true. Say you made a mistake at work and you're beating yourself up like, oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I make that mistake? That was so dumb. Well, talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Like, coach yourself through it like you would coach your friend through it. Like, oh my gosh, no, Marie, you are so smart. You got it going on. You made a mistake, or this was hard for you. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. That doesn't mean that it's bad. You are such a good employee. You did such a good job today. Like, get out of your head. You are so good at this job. Okay, do something like that. Talk to yourself. Cheer yourself on. Be your own cheerleader. Be your own best friend. It's like, sometimes we hear that and we're like, oh, that's so like woo-woo, or not woo-woo, but like so Pollyanna, and that would be the perfect way to do things, but that's not how I roll. Well, guess what? Maybe it's time to make a change. If you're not going to be your best friend, who will be? We should all be our own best friend. How much less stressful would your life be if you were just like rooting yourself on or talking to yourself like you would to your best friend, right? And here's the thing. You can't control all your thoughts, especially not the first or second one that pop up in your head, but you can control what you say to yourself after that first or second thought. So if it's hard, if it feels sucky, if the first thought is just bad or negative, cool, fine. You had no control over that. It just came. But then what you say to that meanie, because you got a best friend to protect, right? So what you say to her matters. How you respond to her matters. And that can be a game changer. That can like change your day from like you feeling like crap the whole day to you feeling amazing, to you feeling much better about yourself because you had your best friend there. And if you can't imagine your own voice cheering you on, imagine your best friend cheering you on. You are such a badass. I hope you see that for yourself. And as a badass, we have to do these little tips and tricks to cheer ourselves on and root for ourselves, to be our own best friend. It is not easy. It's not always easier. It doesn't always feel easy choosing these self-care options. But man, does it feel better in the long run. So it's like, what's your option? You can sit there and beat yourself up all day, or you can try to change your thoughts a little bit and be your own best friend. I don't know about you, but I'm going to consciously try to be my own best friend. I'm going to try to root myself on, because who is the one person that you have with you for your whole life, no matter what? So you got to stick with you. I mean, what a miserable life to hate yourself your whole life, or to be mean to yourself your whole life. I'm not picking on you if you're mean to yourself. I think it's kind of the human condition, and it's the thing that we all get trapped into. I'm just urging you to think differently, to follow Jodielynn's method of being your own best friend. And Jodielynn had said, if you do something wrong, it doesn't have to be bad. It can just be a mistake. So don't let those mistakes be bad, and don't let those mistakes have to define you. Because regardless, if you do something wrong, if you do something bad, if you make a mistake, you're still a badass. We all make mistakes. We all have those bad days. We have those bad times. But I promise you, you are still a badass. Okay, a quick recap of the episode. 3 reasons why Jodielynn Craven is so badass. 1 is because she didn't let her financial situation trap her. 2, she went all in on money. And 3 is the exercise that she does that'll have you feeling like your best, or your BFF is always by your, words are hard. Is have you feel like your BFF is always by your side. So if you love Jodielynn's episode as much as I do, definitely take a screenshot of this episode, throw it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at Ordinary to Badass. And tag Jodielynn at Jodielynn Craven. And she spells Jodie, Jodie. So if Jodielynn said anything that resonated with you, or there was anything from the episode that you implemented, definitely reach out and let her know. Sometimes it's hard being vulnerable and sharing your whole life story. So it's important that we reach out, that we tell people how they impacted our lives. All right. With that, we'll end our show. Tell the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.